Hello, first responders. It's Johanna with Holiday Planet with our next FAQ video for our first responder private island rental in Belize. And today we'll be talking about day tours and t-shirts. So first off, there are 5 day tours included with our island rental package. 3 of those are snorkeling. And the snorkeling here is spectacular on the Mayan Reef, which is one of the largest barrier reefs now in the world. We have just had some of the best snorkeling of our lives there, so I highly recommend it. We have seen sharks. We have seen huge rays bigger than my arm span. We always see lots of colorful fish and lobsters and eels and beautiful coral formations. Each of the 3 days, Hikim, that there's snorkeling, they'll take us to a different location, so it will have some variety to it. The snorkeling, they just come around the night before at dinner and say, hey, who wants to snorkel tomorrow? And you can just sign up as often as you feel like going based on how you feel. They'll take a group out in the morning and another group out in the afternoon. You can either go both times or just once. Hi, Joel. And like I said, you can leave it up to how you feel day by day as you go on in terms of how many times you're going to go snorkeling. There are also 2 inland day tours included with our package. The first one goes to the Sunantinich Mayan ruins. So they take us by boat after breakfast, load us on a bus, and then bus us out into the jungle. It's a couple of hours each way on the bus, but it's so worth it. The site of these Mayan ruins, the Mayans always picked really beautiful sites for their temples and communities, and of course, as usual, this one is very pretty. And there's quite extensive grounds and artifacts to see, and then the main temple, you can walk all the way up to the top of it. It's very impressive and large, one of the best ones I've ever been to anywhere, and from the top of that temple you can see all the way to Guatemala. It's really impressive. Then that day they will take us to a local restaurant, Hi Mel, for a local Belizean lunch. Their specialty is pibil, which is a pork that's baked in a pit in banana leaves, I think. It's really super yummy. Definitely a can't miss. Beers are not included, but you can buy yourself a local beer to go along with it, which I also recommend as well. Then the second inland tour that's included in our package is ziplining and cave tubing. And so that will be a couple of days later. We'll go again after breakfast, take a boat to the mainland. We'll be bussed out to Caves Branch where we do the ziplining and cave tubing together at the same site. Hi, Connie. And this is so worth doing. The island is really smart that these are the 2 tours specifically that they're including because they're some of the best tours anywhere in Belize. I absolutely love both of these experiences. So the zip lining is fun. There are about 12 lines that you get to ride. And there is a little bit of hiking and stairs in between, just so you know. But we have taken people on this exact zip lining tour up to 80 years old before. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do it, you probably can. But just to give you a heads up, there is some hiking and stairs in between the different zip lines. The last one is really long and it goes all the way over a river, so it's really pretty. Then we have lunch on site there that's included. And then in the afternoon, we do the cave tubing. So you carry your own tube down to the river. And this is like maybe a 30-minute walk with your tube, so that's a little bit active as well. But as you're going along, you have your guide with you, and they're pointing out different plants and trees in the Belizean jungle, which is really interesting. And once we get those tubes in the water, they kind of connect us all together, and we float down the river together, and it's very peaceful and beautiful. We're going through caves. There are really interesting rock formations in there. There are Mayan ancient artifacts in there. That's a wonderful part of the day. You can dip into the water for a refreshing swim before the river float is finished. And then there's usually just a little bit of time for shopping with some local vendors who have their stuff set up there. And of the whole week in Belize, that's where I've encountered the most real local artisans, where I'm buying from the people who live around there. So I like to get in just a quick little shopping there before we leave Caves Branch. Now, for both of these tours, but the zip lining in particular, I want to mention that you don't have to do both of those things. You can still go on the tour, and if you say you want to do the cave tubing but not the zip lining, that's fine. You can go and you can cop a squat under a tree and read a book. You can take your own little nature walk. You can sit at the tables where they have the lunch and you can visit. You can buy coconuts full of rum from the vendors. You can walk around and do the shopping at the little booths. There's definitely a very pleasant day there to be had, even if you don't want to do both the zip lining and the cave tubing. You can still go just for one. And if there are either of these inland tour days that you don't want to do at all, if you just want to stay on the island, that's perfectly fine too, because there's a lot to be said about just having an island day. And once everybody leaves and you have the island to yourself, it's actually pretty cool. And I've always heard everyone who's ever stayed behind say that they had an amazing day too, just relaxing on the island. So that is an option. Just remember, there's no refund for any portion of your island package that you don't use. Finally, we found some great Belize t-shirts. They have a fun vintage sunset graphic on the front. They say, "You better Belize it," hype S. And these shirts are available on Amazon for $16.99. So I thought, why are we gonna order our own shirts, and they would be almost twice as much money and a lot more complicated and more work. I thought, you know what, for the private island rental, let's just get these cute, fun Belize t-shirts off Amazon. They'll arrive really quickly. You can all order them yourselves, and they're really affordable. My family is doing the bright jewel tones. We're ordering teal, royal blue, and purple. I also think the pink is really pretty. They have a bunch of other colors too. They have black and olive green and stuff, but I just think that the bright tropical colors would be really nice for us all taking a group photo together. But if you don't get the group t-shirt, that's okay. Just wear a bright tropical colored t-shirt for our group photo. And I think that's it, everyone. We're putting the link to the t-shirt order, to this particular t-shirt that we chose, in the email that goes out with this video, and we'll also put it down in the Facebook comments below. Thank you, Irene, for doing that. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and I'll be back next week to talk more about packing and what should be on your packing list. Bye, everyone.